Today on First Cup, we're going to talk about, I don't know what, I haven't even looked yet. But it's also Frank's birthday, so we're going to celebrate him. So stick around. We're rolling in 20. Getting ready, 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 getting ready. In 5, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Today is Friday. It's September 24th, 2021. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. I'm not thrilled that it's in styrofoam with a plastic top, but it's coffee, and I'll take it. Good morning, Jenny. I hope you all had a good Thursday. I did. I'm gonna speak a little quietly because there's a room right there. There's another room, and there's another room right there. So this was the best setup because there's a counter here. For those of you who forgot, I'm traveling. I'm on vacation, and I'm using air quotes because I still have some work. And yesterday, I had a good chunk of work on the way down. Stopped off to take care of something, and yeah. So happy birthday, Frank. Frank is in the chat. I'm really excited that he is. I wasn't quite sure if he would be, but if you like this show, I need you to know that it's because of Frank. If it was just me, we would not have gotten this far. If you go back to the early days when I just kind of showed up and went and drank coffee, it wasn't that fun. We had very few people. But Frank saw it. He saw the potential, started contributing things, made him a producer. We talked about a bunch of stuff, and he's held me accountable and made sure we have stuff to talk about pretty much every time. So thank you, my friend. I really appreciate you. Well, here's the hotel. There's a corner there, and there's a corner there, and the bathroom's right here. It's about as simple as you get. It's a hotel, but it's cheap, and the air conditioning works, and there's the bed, and it's got the grainiest television I've ever seen. It's one of those. It's an older TV. It's still a flat screen. It's mounted to the wall, but I was watching a little bit of TV last night before bed, which I do, but I don't watch it in bed because I don't have a TV in my bedroom. And the quality is awful. It's really awful. I'm at right now we are at an America's Best Inn on Cape Cod. It is not fancy. What did it come out to? Like just shy of $80 a night with taxes and everything. It's a cheap hotel, but that's okay. It's clean. It's got everything I need. I just need a place to put my head down and put some stuff while I go do things. What am I gonna do? I don't know. It's supposed to be rainy the next, today and tomorrow. So part of my plan was to take some photos. I like taking pictures, and so maybe that'll happen. But honestly, I'm probably just gonna hang out and relax and eat. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram. If you do, if you saw my stories, I had an amazing dinner. Actually, I had an amazing lunch and dinner yesterday, and just gonna keep doing that. Just gonna keep eating good food. The coffee is not bad. I'm gonna go back to this place for breakfast because it was just down the street. Yeah, I had to get up and put on pants to walk and get coffee. My morning routine's all thrown off. I mentioned taking pictures. I wanted to show you something. Somehow I am missing one cord for my primary camera. I don't know the last time I had this out. I don't know the last time I shot. So I want to show you something. These batteries have been sitting for, let's call it's at least 6 months, probably a year. Here's a Nikon battery. Full charge. sometimes people wonder why you should spend money on name brand stuff which here's the off-brand battery, which weighs half of what that one does. Nothing. So in forgetting that cord, I have one battery for this camera. That's okay. It'll be enough. It'll be enough. Oh, happy Frank Day. Yeah, let's call it Frank Day. Happy Frank Day. I like it. I absolutely like it. Did you all have a chance to check out yesterday's episode of Martial Arts Radio? I'm curious what you thought. In yesterday's episode, Andrew and I talked about it was the financial considerations in opening a school. And we didn't get much feedback. You know, it's interesting. I know a lot of the people who listen to and watch our episodes are school owners, but when we do content for school owners, we don't get as much feedback. I don't know. Maybe they're all doing all the things that we say, or maybe it's not what people want to tune in for. I don't know. I don't know, but that's okay. We're still going to continue to do a variety, because I think we should. So I thought I would take the opportunity and talk about some of the things that I do when I travel, some of the things that I bring. So when we think about security, and I actually emailed Andrew, when we go to Rhode Island Comic-Con, we're doing one night in a hotel, and I want to do an episode, I want to film an episode on security in a hotel room, because none of it's like rocket science, none of it's that far out of, it's not like weird stuff, but I think there are some things that the self-defense, militaristic veins in martial arts take a little too far. Good morning, Mel. And good morning to all of you. I didn't welcome all of you by name. Slider, Dennis, Stacey, of course Frank, Mel, and Jenny, and whoever else is here, or if you watch later on. But when I travel, when I think about security, there are two main things that I think are important. Flashlight, pepper spray. Because confused, half awake, a knife isn't always a good option, and a gun isn't always a good option. And there are plenty of us who don't have guns, don't want guns, and there are plenty of places you can't have guns. So we're not going to build a security protocol around that. But pepper spray, it's illegal in most places. So I always bring that. I always bring water, lots of water. I've got like another gallon in the car, because you know what, the water here is terrible. It tastes like bleach. Ugh. I've got this kit. This is back from when I used to do a lot of tournaments. For those of you who don't know, what was it? Across 2017, 2018, I did 50 events. 104 weekends, 50 events. I was busy. And so I put this kit together of all the things that I wanted electronically when I traveled, like an HDMI cable so I could plug my laptop into the TV, and a bunch of charging cords, and a battery backup, and a surge protector, and a handful of things like that. If you travel a lot, not a bad thing. Now yesterday on the way down, I said I want to celebrate just being alive, and I picked up a new bottle of whiskey. This was not part of the bottom shelf collection. This was only 30 bucks. It's actually really good. It's a brand I've never heard of before, and it had the worst cork. There's like schmutz all through the whiskey, but that's okay. I fished most of it out, and I'm drinking it out of plastic cups. Very classy. I'm a classy guy. Can't you tell? I'm a classy guy. Well, let's see what you all gave me to talk about. I forgot to post, I think, Yeah. I forgot to post something on the Friday, for Friday, in the Facebook group, so my bad. Mel says, pour it all through a coffee filter. I actually do have a pour over filter with me. I was thinking about that as I walked back with my styrofoam coffee, that I could have done coffee myself here. I could have brought more water. I could have brought my, I could have brought coffee grounds and a kettle, but I didn't, because I have a tendency to overpack. We've talked about this week, and I was trying to find places that I didn't need to. Jared's giving me a hard time. I see you brought your camera and kit. I sure did. I managed to break the phone holder on my main tripod, but I've got a backup tripod, which I absolutely hate this tripod because you can't tighten anything. So it just kind of sits there. Oh well. Stacey says, oops, there's the need for that kitchen sink. Jenny says, I have had to do this. Yeah, it's, you know, I get so left brain, so dialed in, so prepared that I could very easily fill my car for a 2-day trip. And I try when it's appropriate to not bring as much stuff, to force myself to relax, because otherwise I spend all my time packing and unpacking, and that's not the point. It's not the point of going away. And then when I get home, I have to pack and unpack, or rather unpack. So Jared's got a subject. Weird martial arts EDC, like combat weighted hats. Now this one is not one of those. I've had this hat for a long time. But there are hats, and I've seen some like this, and I've definitely seen baseball caps, where they put weight like around the back, and the idea is that you can hit people with it. You hear the seagulls? I think like anything else, it has a place, but if you don't train with it and you don't understand how to really work with it, what are you going to do? Now, here's a fun, for those of you who are local, I have this compulsion whenever I'm traveling and I see a Ben & Jerry's shop, ice cream. I have to go in and buy ice cream. And so I walked in, and it was 2 high school kids, and they were open. It felt later. It was like 8 o'clock after I was done with dinner. And it was very clear I interrupted them in a conversation. I ended up chatting with them for like 15-20 minutes and giving them life advice, because it's just how it happened. But on my walk back to the hotel, I had my ice cream, and I started thinking about, what do I do? What's a good stand-in? Pretend this is my ice cream. Okay, so I'm walking with my ice cream, and I'm thinking about what I would do if I had to. And I realized this is the wrong hand for me to carry this. So I put it in the other hand. Why is this the wrong hand? Because I keep my knife on this side. I keep my flashlight on this side. This is the hand that I needed free. And so then I started playing around with it. Okay, so if somebody comes up to me, they're probably going to accost me for my wallet. And I ran through the scenario. Okay, if it's a serious threat and I have to deal with it, let's say, given what they might have going on, and I realized, throwing ice cream in somebody's face isn't a bad defensive strategy. So I made sure I kept some ice cream in the cone until I was within sight of the hotel. New York Super Fudge Chunk, if anyone was wondering. No, I didn't get stressed about it. I'm not going to go practice with an ice cream. I'm not going to drill. But just to think about it, just once in a while. What's going on? What am I going to do? When I sat down for dinner, I sat on the patio, and I was very aware of where the entrance was. It was a single entrance. Made sure I didn't have my back to it, and I was good to go. And there were dogs on the patio. It was a wonderful meal. And Frank did give us some stuff. Slider says, ice cream defense seminar. Eat it. And then make your opponent eat a lot of it so they are lethargic, and then you win. Camera's getting away from me. And Jared says, so you mentioned some, what's my EDC? Other than my wallet, these are the two. Pocket knife, pocket flashlight. These, I've talked about this before. The amount of, and you know, I use this to open things. I don't use this for self-defense. I've never had to defend myself with a knife. Statistically, given the choices that I make, I am unlikely to ever have to do that. I use this all the time. I've never shown it in someone's eyes, right? But I could. But more so, having light on you prevents situations. And if the only thing you have for light is this, I'm going to be honest, you're doing it wrong. I feel you don't need to carry pepper spray. You don't need to carry a knife. There are lots of things you don't need to carry. I think everyone needs to carry a little flashlight in their pocket. Oftentimes when I say in your pocket, women will say, we don't have pockets. Well, if you don't have pockets, you're carrying a purse, a pocketbook, you're carrying something. You can get lights that have a clip. You can get some that are even smaller than this that clip on. You have ones that you can put on your keys. Everybody needs a light. Stacey says, because of the comedian I mentioned yesterday, I was hit with an ad for the fact he's appearing at the Flynn in March. Hasan's coming to the Flynn? Ooh, I have to get tickets for that. Stacey, remind me of that. I love him. Frank says, I carry a mini mag light. I don't know if you remember, but there was a Facebook post, not within the last 6 months, personal Facebook post. Most of you are Facebook friends with me. And I asked what people carried in their pockets. And of course I got a lot of, I'm a woman, I don't have pockets. And I'm sorry. But Frank definitely won longest post. His, whether you call it the stuff he has or EDC, everyday carry, however you want to term it, our birthday boy today has more stuff on him than anybody else I know. And I'm good at, and I'm proud of you for that. I think that's great. Stacey says, I'm good at reminders. Good. I would like to at least, let's make sure the pricing is okay. Sometimes the Flynn's are our main theater in Burlington. Sometimes pricing can be a little ridiculous for stuff like that. All right. What did Frank give me to talk about? Where is it? So here's some jokes. We got to get through the jokes. The jokes seem to be everybody's favorite part. The jokes for Funday Friday. Chuck Norris doesn't read books. He stares them down until he gets the information he wants. Oh, I was using this as a bit of an icebreaker walking around town yesterday, talking to people, and this was really fun. What do you call a fish with a bow tie? Sophisticated. The kids at the ice cream shop love that. Time waits for no man, unless that man is Chuck Norris. If you spell Chuck Norris in Scrabble, you win. Forever. Chuck Norris breathes air 5 times a day. In the beginning, there was nothing. Then Chuck Norris roundhouse kicked nothing and told it to get a job. Chuck Norris has a mug of nails instead of coffee in the morning. If Chuck Norris were to travel to an alternate dimension in which there was another Chuck Norris and they both fought, they would both win. The dinosaurs looked at Chuck Norris the wrong way once. You know what happened to them. Oh, this is a great one. Slider wrote this one. I heard a new one today. Chuck Norris finally got a Gmail. It's Gmail at chucknorris.com. chucknorris.com. That's hysterical. Mel says, I'm so lost today. I sit here like it's Friday. She's on vacation. It is Friday. Chuck Norris tears cure cancer. Too bad he's never cried. You know, as much as the rest of the world loves Chuck Norris jokes, martial artists love Chuck Norris jokes even more. And we, of course, we've tried to book him, and if I remember correctly, he's on Cameo. I don't know if you're familiar with that platform, but you can hire famous people to do like quick things. And even Chuck Norris on Cameo is ridiculous. But if I were him, the thing I would be doing would be telling Chuck Norris jokes. For $50 or $100, I will say your name and do a random Chuck Norris joke. And if you want to pick it, it's $150 or something. And I would sit there and do it all day long and make a fortune. I mean, how long is it going to take him to do one of those? Make some good money. But it's Chuck Norris, so he really doesn't need to. All right. Fly. Today is Native American Day. And let's see. I like this one. I've heard this before. A Native American elder once described his own inner struggles in this manner. Inside of me there are two dogs. One of the dogs is mean and evil. The other dog is good. The mean dog fights the good dog all the time. When asked which dog wins, he reflected for a moment and replied, "The one I feed the most." And that quote is credited to George Bernard Shaw. This is something that I get on people about. Not quite in that way, but similar enough. A lot of us use really judgmental language. We're self-judgmental. I should, I could, I really needed to, I wish. That time's gone. Learn the lesson, move on, and give yourself the freedom of forgiveness. We treat ourselves so much worse than we treat most people. Even the people that look like they're not treating others, or they look like they're treating others poorly, it's usually a reflection of how they feel about themselves inside. And so one of the things I do with some of my clients, the ones that I'm on this level with, is remind them, hey, you know what? It's okay. You're doing great. Let's learn from the lesson. Let's move on. Let's get better. Let's drop these words, should, would have, I'm an idiot, right? Because your brain hears those. It does have an impact. If you really want to dig into it, there is science that proves it. Treat yourself well. Try to treat yourself as kindly as you would treat someone else. Frank's admitting, and I don't think it's a bad backup by any means, whenever I don't know what else to do for Fun Day Friday, I just turn to Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris could tell Fun Day Friday jokes on a Thursday. Help me always to speak the truth quietly, to listen with an open mind when others speak, and to remember the peace that may be found in silence. Robert Mueller. We know that's one of my favorites. And the last one, and because I'm seeing we're winding down, I want to get this one in. This means a lot to me, so I'm gonna read it. Stacey says, I know the Jeremy that showed up when I was seriously doubting myself was exactly that. You rock at flipping the picture. Well, thank you. We all have greatness. We do. But we are suppressed from birth, from achieving it. Whether it's a family dynamic, or society, or media. we don't go for the things that we want and should have. And my hope through whistlekick in my life in general is that more people take more steps forward in and out of martial arts towards being who they want to be. Here's another good one. Bruca said, be like water. Water said, be like Chuck Norris. That's great. This is actually good coffee. That bodes well for the breakfast that they're going to serve. The beauty of the trees, the softness of the air, the fragrance of the grass, they speak to me. The summit of the mountain, the thunder of the sky, the rhythm of the sea speaks to me. The faintness of the stars, the freshness of the morning, the dewdrop on the flower speaks to me. The strength of the fire, the taste of the salmon, the trail of the sun, and the life that never goes away, they speak to me, and my heart soars. Chief Dan George. I hope you have a great day, a great weekend. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have plans, and that's the fun of it. I haven't done a trip like this in a while, and I needed it. So I want to thank all of you. I want to thank all of you for coming around, for watching, whether you're watching now or later, or maybe you're listening later. Just a reminder, I'm wearing my 2018 Whistlekick Training Day shirt. You can get your 2021 Whistlekick Free Training Day shirt. It's not a free shirt, but the event's free. And if you're coming, you should definitely have a shirt. You don't have to. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm just trying to reinforce this because there's something going on that we're going to do, and there are people, I know there are going to be people who are going to be bummed that they didn't get a shirt before the event. You can get a shirt after the event. If you're not sure if you want to go and you don't want to get a shirt to an event you might not go to, I get that. But we've worked something out. It is, I'll be honest, it has nothing to do with training. You are not going to be excluded from anything training-wise if you don't have a shirt. But there is an opportunity that people with shirts will get a first crack at. So we'll just leave it at that. So enjoy your weekend. I'm going to go post in the Facebook group so I give you all a place to leave stuff for Monday because I forgot to do that and I apologize. And I'm going to go have a killer day and killer weekend, and I hope you do too. So thank you all. I appreciate you, and I'll see you back here Monday. Peace.